Oh, hello, everyone. Grasshoppers, greetings. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday morning. I know I sure am. And today is a very important day. We're gonna do a little debrief of my live event that we held here on Thursday, which is why I missed Thursday and Friday's show. But I wanted to come on and talk to you about the good, the bad, and the ugly about having online live events and what you need to do to keep people's attention, not just be a talking head, because boy, are we tired of those. Hey, I don't know about most of you, but most of us have been quarantined or hiding away or hanging out in our houses for not a year. We're going to say 10 months. It's a long time, isn't it? And yes, and so we have thousands of Zoom meetings for everyone. Listen, I used to have to explain Zoom to everyone that I ever met for the first time on a Zoom meeting, which I have all the time. So I would explain Zoom 3-4 times a day, and then all of a sudden I never explained it again because everyone was on it. And so I know that, hey, thanks, Justin James. Justin James says, congratulations. It was so much fun, Justin. We're going to get into that in a sec. But let's see. So wanted to hold a debrief so that you might learn from my mistakes, my successes, or maybe you'll just have a good time listening to me. I don't know. But so here we go. So the event was Skyrocket Your Engagement, which to me, it's in the name. I want it to be the most engaging event that I can possibly make it. Reason why, hey, it's 6 hours long. That's a long time to be sitting around. You know what I'm saying? It's a long time to be, discussing business issues and stuff like that. And when you're at a live event, you get to get up and mingle. You get to get up and make friends with the other people that are there, go get a glass of water. You got the music's playing. If At certain events, we also go dance on stage during the break. I mean, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of people to talk to. And you do get that really nice movement break every couple hours or so. I don't remember. Events differ, so your mileage may vary. Anyway, so how do you make an event engaging without all of that contact? Because let's face it, people come to our events because of that kind of contact. People come to our events and don't just watch a whole bunch of videos on YouTube or wherever they watch videos because of that potential interpersonal interaction that will bring them their next big deal or bring them their next big project or collaboration with someone. Those kinds of elements are really, really important to people's excitement. That's why they spend money on a plane ticket and a hotel and whatever the registration is, because they want that kind of interaction that they cannot get at home. So here we are in deep in COVID-19, and we need to provide live events because we still need to teach people things. We still need to have these workshops, these events, whatever you want to call them. We still need to have them. And for me, I'm practicing. Hey, eventually, we'll all get outside again and be able to do this. So I want to be ready, right? And have my content worked out and be all ready to have a hotel gig someday. Anyway, so let's get on to so I was telling you about the event, and I had some special things planned for the event that I had actually never done before. And one of them was the use of kind of a polling the audience. Now, most of the time when I'm on a Zoom or whatever, if there's a certain a certain amount of people there, I will absolutely pull that audience and say, hey, write your answer in the chat. However, I wanted to introduce different software. Now, anytime you introduce software to an event, and especially if the people are using it, then there is always, always, always have a backup plan. Because people might get confused using the software. Um, People might get lost. What I do there to back myself up is I've got my Alexa. Some of you know Alexa, the brilliant ninja who works with me. And also Tom. Tom wasn't able to be there. He had a client meeting during that time, but I have people that can help people if they get behind, if they have any questions. So backed myself up in that way. Really wanted to introduce the software because the software does things that just writing your comment in the chat didn't do at this event. So the software can take all of the words that people type in, and it can display it in different ways. That's power I don't have on Zoom, and probably will never have. I mean, I don't imagine that they're going to get stuff like that. But you can display people's answers in a word cloud. You can display them one by one. You can make them anonymous. You can tie them to a name. You have a lot of power to engage people. And really, here's the thing. People love seeing their answers on the screen. They just do. They in the break between, lunch break, coffee break, whatever it is, I find that re-putting some of my slides back up, because my slides, most of them don't have many words at all, unless the quote. Putting slides up and also kind of taking pictures of people's, especially, if you keep it anonymous, which I do, putting people's answers up there, that catches people, that catches their eye. Like, here's where I contributed. Here's where I made it different. Here's where I did something. It's really awesome stuff. It's really awesome stuff. When people are able to see themselves in what you do, that's awesome stuff. So I had a plan. Hey, Paul, haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Stumbled, but only had a few minutes. Nice job. Hey, great seeing you, Paul. I've got some folks to forward you. That reminds me. Anyway, so here we are. And I have this beautiful plan. Anybody out there ever have that? The beautiful technological plan? We even, the day before, Lex and I, we rehearsed. We did some answering. We saw the stuff up on the screen. It was amazing. We loved it. Guess what happened during the event? Yeah. It all went kablooey. Now, here's what happened really well. Everybody in the audience totally grabbed onto what we were doing. They totally, they were in it to win it. There was no misunderstanding of what needed to happen. There was no misunderstanding of the fact that it was optional. Everybody flew right along with it. That was perfect. However, sometimes in the execution of lots of software parts, we got a little problems occasionally. And that is exactly what happened to us there. We came to a point and we were not able to really continue with that. So backup plan number 2, boop, because you should always have more than one. I had everybody throw their answers in the chat. It was less cool than I wanted it to be, but it was still functional. And here's the deal. Nobody really knows the magic of what you've planned. Sometimes in these events, technology just gets awry. Hey, or maybe it gets a pumpernickel. It'll do what it wants to do because it's technology, people. Even I cannot control it. I can guide it, but I cannot control it. So here's the thing. If you have plan A and plan B of emergency backup, you're going to be fine. And the people aren't really losing out on the experience that they would have had. They're just not, because they don't know the experience that you would have had, that they would have had if things had worked correctly. Tell you a story, because that's my deal. It was the birth of my niece, my tiny little niece, who came into the world several years ago. And my brother-in-law in the elevator was telling me, you know, I went to get my sister. I went to get her a bunch of roses, and I really wanted them to be pink, but they only had, they had very few pink, and so I had to do a red, white, and pink thing. And he was very disappointed. And I said, "Hey, man, all she's going to see is the roses. She's not gonna know what you had planned, and it's going to be okay." Now he did end up telling her anyway, but the point is, and there is a point, the point is nobody can see, feel, and know what you had planned. If you have to ditch a plan at the last minute, you know what? Pick it up next time. Do not even sweat. Keep moving through that event. The show must go on. That is a huge one. Now, you've heard that probably. You've heard that several places. The show must go on. No, it really must. It really must. If people have signed up to be there, if people are sitting in those seats, and it doesn't matter how many they are, if people are there, then the show must go on no matter what. So that's something I learned in theater, of course. That's something I learned in theater where, it's a live event. Woo! I got really great training in live events, everybody. It's a live event. Anything can happen. Anything meaning, and these things have all happened to me. You're carrying on a conversation with somebody on stage. Somebody off stage is supposed to come on and interrupt that conversation, and they don't show up. The person, here's another situation. The person that you're having a conversation with on stage forgets their lines completely and stares at you like a possum in the headlights. This has happened to me. Here's another one. You forget your lines and somebody else has to come get you. You get exposed to a lot of these types of situations in the theater world because it's unpredictable. Because people love live theater. I hope they will still love live theater when this is all over. But people have loved it since time. In the beginning of time, it was hanging out near the campfire telling stories. But here's the thing. You get faced with so many situations where you just have to keep the entire show in mind and start driving toward what you need to drive toward. Here's another one that's happened to me many, many times on stage. And that is, you're talking to a person on stage and they say the wrong thing. They jump forward in time way too much, and you've got to get them back to where that they need to be. That's another one. So there are many, many examples of the show must go on. The show must go on. When problems happen, I just, you zoom out 30 feet and you go, okay, where do we need to go for the next step of this? Don't focus on the fact that your technology is failing. Don't focus on the fact that they were not getting the experience you wanted them to get. Don't do any of that. Just know that they want a good show. They want a good show. They want a great memory, and provide them with that. So anyway, so that's the big one. That and technology failure. Those are the big ones. I plan a lot of technology into my shows. I plan a lot of technology into everything. I don't know if you've noticed. Today is rather technology less, because here's the second thing that happened during the event. My normal technology, which is, if you are a live streamer, some of these things will make sense to you. I'll go fast for the rest of you, because I don't want to glaze you out. But I have several virtual cameras set up. I have my microphone. I have my stream deck so that I can play certain effects while the show is going on. However, and this had worked every day up until then, during my show at 10 here and some other things that I have put on, all of it was working. And then during the show, the technology just kept dropping on me. So not just the slides, but I had to go off camera sometimes, so that I could switch my cameras all while still talking. There were a number of things that went wrong camera wise on the event. No idea why that happened. Still, it was problematic. But again, the show must go on. I figured, okay, I don't have to stop because they can still hear my voice. And what I did was keep talking. Now, you got to know when you're doing these live events, babies, you got to know your outline. I had mine up on the screen. I've done this thing a number of times already. I should know what's coming up. But it doesn't matter, because here, when I'm doing a live event in the bot cave, I can absolutely have my script on the other screen. I can have it's not a script. It's points that I need to make, a list of points that I need to make in the order I need to make them. I ain't reading off a script for 6 hours, kids. How boring would that be? But having just that up in the background, you know what I mean? That is so, so important. If you have the ability, when you're doing an online live event, if you have the ability to do that, to project onto another screen your stuff, even if you have, even if you can put it on your phone, okay, and then put it up somewhere near you, hugely important. It's nice because for me, those are little road signs. Also, now I know my slides so well that when I go back and forth over those, if I get lost, I just look at the slide. It's good. I look at the slide or I look at my script and I'm good. Massive craziness is going to happen during these live events, people. It just is. Technology that has been working for months is going to go boop, boop. You know what? Not today. Stuff that you planned and rehearsed last night is going to act in a completely different manner. These things are all things that are going to happen to you. You're going to forget your spot. This is all going to happen to you. And it's okay. It's okay. Backup plans A to Z. Remember that you are not there to dazzle the audience. You are there to engage the audience. And sometimes, even if you have to switch cameras and they only hear your voice for a minute, keep going. Keep talking. They're there because they're interested. And keep engaging them. Because I didn't do that slide thing and I asked people to just toss their comments in the Zoom. People were totally happy with that. They didn't mind doing that. And I make sure that I do that lots of times in an online live event. I do. I make sure that I'm asking them to make comments. Essential. It's absolutely essential to the event that they get to drive to, that your audience gets to drive to. One of the things that I incorporate into the sign-up process is asking people what's the biggest thing that they want to learn, and then going through my little talk and going, okay, this is where I hit that point, or let's adjust and hit that point right here. I do that because a live event isn't about me. It's about us. See what I mean? It's about us. It's about the journey that we take together. It's about any transformation that I can have with that audience on that day. It's about the transformation I have, and it's about the transformation that they have. It's all of us. It's a group project, baby. It isn't a solo project where I present like this for many hours and people cheer and then they go home and they got nothing. It's not that. It is a collaboration. It is a little bit from you, a little bit from me, and we make each other's lives better. I can't do that if I don't know anything about you. I can't do that if I don't know what you need, what you value. But I can do that if I've collected that type of information. If I've asked you those questions, then I can have those answers. And I can design something that is awesome for the group that's in front of me. That event changes all the time. It does. It does. It changes by the group that's in the seats by the time that we start. We had a really great VIP mastermind the night before. That was so much fun, and people got a lot out of it. You know what? I was so proud. I was so proud of the people on the call because they came along with me on a journey that's not always easy. It's not always easy to look at your marketing and go, what am I doing? It isn't always easy to take that look, but the people on that call, both the calls, were just amazing to me and really, really fabulous. So the show must go on. Whatever technology you may have planned may completely skits out on you. And in fact, just plan for that. Just do it. What's my plan B? What's my plan C if I need one? If plan B doesn't work? For me, it's more about the people in the audience than it is about the visuals. The visuals are great. The visuals will absolutely keep people going throughout the experience. You gotta have them, baby. For me, you gotta have them. But as I've said, my stuff, my usual setup completely went out on me and there was no time to fix it. So I didn't have the visuals for most of the event. Also, I have to mention this because it's hilarious. That was when they came to put in the floor. Not the dojo floor you've seen behind me, but the floor that goes in my actual home. I'm so grateful they weren't replacing the bot cave floor. That would really have been a bad idea. But yeah, that was pretty crazy stuff, my friends. So I was fighting sound. I was fighting ambient sound. And what I did was I grabbed, hold please, boop, grab my headphones, talked into this mic, made sure I could hear my voice above the sound problems. And I also encased my little area here in a little sound buffer, little soundproof booth thing. It was something that I had on hand because I'm equipment crazy. Maybe you're not equipment crazy, and that's fine. But there's always something that you can do. There's always something that you can do. We had a lot of problems, but we had so many beautiful, awesome breakthrough points. We had so many people transform the idea of their marketing inside their own minds. You know what? With all the problems that I've just told you, it was my best event yet. Bar none. Best event yet. So I just want to tell you, it's worth it. I just want to tell you, with a live event, what's your goal? What's your goal? Is it a transactional one? A lot of people focus on that, and that's great for them. For me, it's not really that. It's not really that. I mean, that's nice when it comes, but the thing is, I really want to truly connect with the people in the audience, and I want to collaborate with them and make a journey that they absolutely want to go on. That's my thing. And that is a goal that is incredibly achievable. If you're thinking about a live event, if you're getting ready to put one on, do keep these things in mind. The cool stuff that I usually have going on that I don't have necessarily going on this morning, those are great and those are vital and I absolutely love them. But the heart and the soul of the show is a collaboration between me and the audience. That's what it is. Tech can go out anytime, baby. It's okay. It's okay. You will live. If your mission is to just get through this next hour by reading the slides, your tech going out is going to be a massive problem and you won't be able to finish. But if your mission is to connect to the audience, then the tech is helpful, but it's icing on the cake. You're the cake. You're the cake. You're the reason why they came. The knowledge promised was the reason why they came. Connect with them. Do the very best you can, and people will absolutely remember. Once again, proving you don't need all the stuff. But I do like the fancy stuff anyway. Gosh, that's what I have for you today. I've got to lock it up here because I got a client meeting coming. But just wanted to say that I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Also, we're running the same event on March 11th. So skyrocketlive.com. Go sign up if you want to go come join us. Doesn't matter if you've been there before. Doesn't matter. It's a different show every time. And always free. So thanks for letting me check in today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about something absolutely hilarious. And you're not going to want to miss the show. We are going to talk about bro marketing tomorrow. Bro marketing. If you don't know what that is, or even if you do, come stay tuned because you want to be there. You're going to want to be there. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for listening out there, my beautiful, wonderful audience. And I will